Hey, it's Geoffrey Zakarian. Welcome to Instagram Live. I'm on 2 Instagram Lives, one at Rayo's and one at Geoffrey Zakarian. And I'm very excited because as part of Sauce for Cause, Rayo's is offering a make one, give one for every person who makes the recipe I cook here tonight. Not your recipe, the exact recipe here tonight within 1 week of the IG Live and posted tagging at Rayo's Homemade and Sauce for the Cause. So then Rayo's Homemade will donate a meal to a family in need via Jersey Cares. And I'm a big fan of Jersey. Rayo's has a factory there. They make all this incredible product there in Montclair, which happens to be where I film the kitchen, and I'm there at least twice a month. I love that town. It's very dear to me. I've been going there twice a month for at least over 6 years now because the kitchen's been such an incredible home and a great success. Okay. Let us start. So, let's get our ingredients. So I always like to tell people that when I like to cook, I don't want to move once I start. So what does that mean? I mean mise en place, everything in its place. So it might look like this is all set up in a Hollywood set, but that's kind of what you want to cook like because it makes everything enjoyable. You can have a glass of wine, you can listen to some opera. That makes it fun. Otherwise you're stressful, running to the fridge, running to something you forgot. Nothing is going to be forgotten here because everything is right in front of me. It's an old saying I like. I'd rather be looking at it than looking for it. So what do we have? We have very salted boiling water, as salty as the sea. I know that Scott Conant disagrees when I say that. He says as salty as broth. And he's actually right because when you use broth, it's less salty. And we're going to use some of this water to add and make some starch in the sauce itself. If you were making aglio olio or cacio e pepe where you use a good amount of this, he's right. I would stick with water as salty as broth. But in this case, I'm using this incredible marinara sauce from Rayo's, which, by the way, is like stunning. And if I couldn't make it myself, this is what I buy. This is one of the ones I have in my pantry all the time. And this is going to require just a little of this because it has a lot of seasoning and it's thick because of the tomatoes. So, as salty as the sea when you're going to use sort of a red sauce, but if you're going to use something that is going to use more of this water, as salty as broth. So I think I'm going to say we're both right. So that's going to take about 9 minutes. This fusilli, we're cooking fusilli from Rayo's, but we're actually not going to cook it right away because we have to make a little additional sauce. So what I'm making tonight is a fusilli with sausage, zucchini, garlic, pepperoncini, and some mint. Why mint? Because I have mint in this pot that I'm growing. And basil. So I might use mint and basil. So very important, the first step when you're making a Rayo's sauce is to have a glass of wine. So cheers. Here's to Rayo's. Now we can cook. Alright. We're going to put our pan. I have a cast iron pan that happens to be non-stick. You don't have to use that. We're going to take the sausage. Now, this is Italian sausage. There's sweet, mild, and hot. I like the mild. Hot is, we have kids, so we try to take it easy. I use the mild and add a little pepperoncini. So, we're just going to put the pan on hot, and we're going to add the sausage. I took it right out of the casing. This is not sausage I bought like this. It was in a sausage form. I just took it out of the casing just to make it a little easier. And we're just going to let that sizzle in there. And let me tell you something. Every time you start with sausage in a pan with olive oil, it's going to be a good dish. Alright, while that is searing, it's going to get nice and brown. I'm going to let it go. You can almost forget about it. I'm going to get some garlic. I love garlic. In my estimation, you can't have too much garlic. So I'm going to use 4 cloves. I'm going to cook it for about 3 or 4 people. Maybe 3. Just going to pound that slightly. And any questions you want to have for me, I'm going to answer them. My wife and my daughter are both manning the cameras. Thank you, Madeline and Margaret. And I will answer them. My wife will shout them out. So you can, I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, that's a beautiful sound. That's a beautiful sound. So at about, once it starts to get brown, and I think I have 10 minutes left, 20 minutes left, I'm going to add the pasta. And once I add the pasta, I have to make sure that I'm ready to go and the sauce is ready to go because there's no turning back. Once the pasta is in the water, you're cooked.
All right,
Literally.
lots of questions about what kind of wine goes with the dish.
Any wine goes with the dish. I actually have rosé on ice, which I love. But I'm upstate New York, and it's about 40 degrees here. It's freezing, so we have a little red wine tonight. But I like a Nebbiolo. This is a wine that I put out called Three Wine Men. See? Maybe I've had too much already. But a nice Nebbiolo, anything red, rosé, really cold.
How much sausage? How many links?
Okay, that's 2 big links. But, you know, this is a recipe born of, like, sort of a little of this, a little of that. If you have 1 link, it's fine. Not a problem. I'm going to add a little oil, just a touch. Now, there is fat in the sausage, but you want to add the oil just because you need to have enough so it gets brown and it doesn't stick. Okay?
Can you use chorizo?
Question is, can you use chorizo? Absolutely, but that is a much spicier sausage. Just make sure you regulate your red pepperoncini.
And any tips not to burn the garlic? How do you not burn your garlic?
Don't drink too much. How do you not burn the garlic? Drink wisely. No, yeah, the garlic will burn and then it gets kind of not good. What I do, my tip is I add it just at the last minute. So, we have our garlic, our sausage looks good, and believe me, it smells good. Remember, there's plenty of salt in here right now, so I'm not going to season anything. I have my pasta right here. The water's boiling. I'm going to lower it a bit because I'm not quite ready to put it in. But you always want to have the water boiling and waiting for you. You never want to wait for water. Okay, zucchini. Why zucchini? I had a zucchini in the icebox. All right, so we're just going to take a zucchini like this. Obviously, it's not zucchini seasoned, but it's what it was at the store, and I got it. I'm cutting it in half, and I'm just going to cut it like that. Half moons. I guess you call that mezzaluna. Someone
asked, what's your favorite olive oil?
What's my favorite olive oil? Well, we actually have an olive oil that we harvest from Greece. It's right here. It's from southern Kalamata. Leoniki grape. Really delicious. It's a mild olive oil. Olive oil comes in 2 types. It's very spicy and peppery. And Tuscan and all that. If you love that, you love that, and it has a good place. But for me, this is an everyday extra virgin olive oil that you can really use. So I try to get stuff that everybody can use every day, and it's not too expensive. So this stuff has been my go-to for a long time, the last 2 years now. Really delicious stuff. It's in an incredible area in South Kalamata. A family, 5th generation, 150-year-old vines. I mean, incredible. It's just such a beautiful place. And the olive oil is sublime, and it's organic, and it's low acid, and it's nothing better. Okay, so you see, I've lowered the heat a little bit, and I am going to now get ready to add some pepperoncini. When you're adding pepperoncini, this is just a real nice dried pepperoncini. Be careful, like a teaspoon. You can always add a bit more later, but you can't take it out. That's the problem. Any more questions?
Who has had the biggest impact on the way you cook?
Who has had the biggest impact on the way I cook? That's a good question. I worked for 2 great chefs, a lot of great chefs, 2 in particular. Alan Sayak and Daniel Boulou, both incredible, classic French chefs. And Alan Sayak was probably even more, had a larger range than Daniel, because he knew Greek food, he knew Italian food, he knew Eastern European food. It was really incredible what he knew. But those 2 guys really set me straight and really taught me how to cook. And so many chefs in between added to that, but those 2 in particular. That's a great question. All right, now.
Can you show the pan? Let's see. Here we
show the pan. There we are. You see that? It's going nice, a little raw. I'm going to add a little sea salt here at this point in time. Just a touch. I have the pepperoncini. Now I don't have the garlic in there yet. Because, why? Because I don't want to burn it. Now I'm going to add, I brought this water up to a real nice boil. I'm going to add my fusilli. And anchovies. That's about right. Okay. Any more questions?
So many.
So many. Let's go. I'm here.
Pepperoncini, the same as crushed red pepper?
No, it's not. It's a dried pepper. You can use Calabrian chili, but this is a dried pepper, and it's like, I mean, it's a workhorse in the kitchen, in anybody's kitchen. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to add, in this order,
Someone says,
zucchini.
thank God you shaved.
Thank God I shaved. I did shave. I got really a lot of grief from that from my family. Thanks, family. I got a lot of grief about everything from my family, but that's just the way it goes. And I think they like me, so let's hope so. So I added zucchini. Now, why did I add zucchini first? Because I really don't want to, if I put the garlic in here at this time, by the time the zucchini gets cooked, the garlic might burn. So you got to be really careful. That garlic is going to be like a snap.
One person asked, how long is the pasta in the boiling water?
That's a great question. The pasta is in the boiling water until it is done. And that, I'm not trying to be a wise guy, but this Fusilli says 9 to 11 minutes. Now, every pasta manufacturer tells you 8 to 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 14, so they don't have to take any responsibility if you cook it 14 minutes and it's overcooked. We said 10 to 12, so if you like it really al dente, I like it al dente, it's 9 minutes. If you like it fully cooked, which I think is overcooked, it's 11 minutes, but that's why it's up to you. And the best way to tell is, I just saw a video the other day of Gordon Ramsay. He actually threw spaghetti on the ceiling of his house. He must have a very, very, very forgiving wife for doing that. That's not how you want to do it. What you really want to do is taste it. So, I'm going to taste it when it's ready. This has only been in like 2 minutes, so I know this is hard, really, really hard. But, as you can see, the water's boiling, very salty, and what I love to use is this spider. This is called a spider because what I like to do is have my sauce and my pasta right here, and I just drizzle it right in. So you'll see that in a minute. I don't drain my pasta. I don't throw the pasta water away. I just ladle the sauce, ladle the pasta into the sauce. All right. This is looking really good. Almost ready for the garlic. And I'm going to go over here and just get a couple of pieces of mint and a couple of pieces of basil. And I'm just going to chiffonada, which is just short for strips. And mint and basil is amazing. And I didn't have it until I was making this recipe, and I tried it before. And I was like, wow, it's just such a complimentary flavor. They're very big on the nose, but they're just delicious. Okay, time for a little pepper, cracked pepper. And then I think we're almost ready to add the garlic. Let's have some more questions.
Will your kids eat anything you make?
Will my kids eat anything I make? Answer that, Madeline.
Everything. I try everything he makes. Delicious.
That's actually a half truth. She tries everything I make. Not all of it she finds delicious, but we have a little requirement in the house. You have to try everything, a little bite of it. If you don't like it, you never have to eat it again. And when you do that, especially with your children, you give them out. It's a good thing.
Somebody asked, what is your favorite Italian restaurant in NYC?
What's my favorite Italian restaurant in NYC? Right now, all of them are my favorite because they're all closed. I wish they were open. It's very sad what's happened. But there's so many great Italian restaurants in New York City, really the capital of, just so many. God. Margaret, what are our favorites?
Oh my gosh, Bond Street.
That's not Italian. That's
Italian. I was thinking. Favorite Italian. Piccolina. Filidia.
Filidia?
Piccolino.
Piccolino, Filidia.
Sette Mezzo.
Sette Mezzo.
Mezzaluna.
Yeah, where else we like, what's the place we always go to downtown? Supper, Frankie's Supper. We love Frank. Right now they're all great. Great question, but right now.
Someone wants to know what herbs we have in our pot here.
What herbs? Okay, we have, these are from the supermarket. They have lots of these, and no one's really buying them, so I buy a bunch of them. This is a pasta pot. I put dirt in it from outside. We have lemon thyme, we have rosemary, we have some lemon mint, we have peppermint, we have 2 cups of basil. I have some lavage over here. And every 4 or 5 days I just go get new ones and use these all up. All right, let's take a look at this. Now notice, the garlic's in, it's not burned, but now it's really making everything fragrant. The sausage is not like ground up like you would do in a bolognese. It's nice chunks. You want that. It's almost like a gravy right here.
Somebody asked, instead of meat, what other veggies can be used?
Well, it's easy. You add whatever you like. I mean, I can make a whole thing vegetarian. I use small onions. I can use red onions, zucchini, squash, anything you like, really, honestly, and some peas at the end. I'm going to taste the pasta.
Can you just tell everyone again what you're making for late viewers that are asking?
I'm making a fusilli with zucchini, sausage, mint, garlic, and Rayo's marinara. Here we go. This is a big reveal. Now notice I'm not browning it in sauce because I can always add more, but I can never take it out. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to add this, then I'm going to add a touch of the pasta cooking liquid. Why is that? Because it has all the starch. So just a little bit in there, and that's going to help make this really velvety and all the flavors that come through.
Somebody asked, is it okay to put tomato sauce in cast iron?
Well, this particular cast iron it is because this is nonstick. This is something I sell that is nonstick cast iron, and I purposely did it because I love cast iron, but I hated the work of cast iron. You got to season it, you got to clean it, you can't put vinegar, you can't put red wine, you can't put anything with acid. In these particular pans, they're real cast iron with non-stick, and they just wipe out. So you can see there's no sticking whatsoever. Okay, now the most important part of any chef's work is tasting. So we're going to see where it is, so I can see what it needs.
Somebody asked, which Rayo sauce are you using?
This is the marinara.
Someone says they don't think that your zucchini will be cooked enough.
It's already cooked. You don't want mush. You want bite to a zucchini. So this sauce, to me, is pretty much done. So what I'm going to do, I'm not spilling it myself, what I'm going to do is let it hang out on low. What I mean by hang out, like 120, 200 degrees, it's just going to hang out there.
What?
I'm not going to put the herbs in until the very last second. Now we're going to finish the pasta by adding, a little bit of fresh herbs, olive oil, and cheese. But you don't want to put cheese when it's boiling. Once you put cheese in, the pasta sauce should see no more heat. I stole that line from Scott Cohen. Hope you're watching, Scott. Okay, so we have our pasta. I know it's cooked. I tasted it once, and I can tell you that because when I tasted it, I could tell it was about 90 seconds away. So here we go. No straining, just like that. Right? And then I'm going to add a touch of water, pasta water. And then I'm just going to put it up a little bit and let it just simmer together. And what this does is this allows this whole pot to come together with love. So the pasta gets to hang out in the sauce gets to decide whether it likes the pasta or not. Then they get together and they absorb each other. And does that sound lovely? And that's what it is to really cook a real meal. So when you're in a restaurant, you'll have the sauce here. The chef will put the pasta in, he'll put it right in the sauce and let it actually finish cooking in the sauce. Probably cooks about 90% in this, 85% and 10% or 15% in the pan before it goes to your table. That's why there's never any sauce on the bottom, pasta on the top in a restaurant. It's all together. It's all one luxurious sort of taste. This is good. Okay, we got time for a couple more questions.
This is not including cooking, but somebody said your style's on point.
My style's on point.
They wanted to know what your favorite department store was.
My favorite department store? Well, I wish there was one open right now.
What other pastas work just as well as fusilli?
Orecchietti. You have sausage, orecchietti, anything with like sort of great,
divots in it?
Divots or anything like with holes or anything that's like rough really works well. All right. What we're doing now is we're just hanging out here, having fun, having a glass of wine. You can see now the pasta and the sauce, they're getting to know one another. They're chatting, The pasta's put his arm around the sauce. There could be a kiss coming up in a minute. And maybe a little cheese.
Somebody asked, which is your favorite Rayo sauce?
I love the marinara. The reason why is it's like, if you're going to have a pantry, you need a marinara in it. It's just good for everything. To make lasagna, to make any sauce in the book, to make a vodka sauce, you can add vodka. So it's just it's a standby. But the actual roasted garlic is delicious as well. I love that. Now look at that, you see? So if you look right here in the pan, there's a little line of sauce that's beginning to leave. Where is it going, you say? It's going into the pasta. Zucchini is perfectly cooked, and now we are done. So what are we going to do? We're going to shut it off. We're going to add our cheese. Now remember, there's no more heat when you put the cheese in. Pasta sees no more heat. I'm just going to stir it in a little bit. Oh, and a little on top. Some fresh mint and basil. And I actually like, just like this, to never stir it at this point. I like to bring it right to the table with a little olive oil, extra virgin. And I like to serve it right in this cast iron, because guess what? I don't want to do a lot of dishes, and it stays warm, and it's perfect. So the cast iron will hold the natural heat. It won't cook it anymore. It'll just hold that heat.
Was that?
Plus you get that nice melty, cheesy, olive oily, minty basil flavor on top. That looks so yummy.
Was that Parmesan cheese?
That was Pecorino Romano. Why? This is what I had. Let's add some more. This is Locatelli Romano. We're gonna add some more on top because I had that. And I didn't have much of a little rotten looking piece there, but you know what? On a grater, no one will know.
You have a question here. Have you been to Rayo, the actual Rayo's in New York?
I have been to Rayo's. I've been lucky and fortunate enough to go to Rayo's. I can't wait to reopen. I hope they will give me a table. I love it there. I live in Manhattan. I live about 20 blocks from it, and I drive by it all the time. I swing around when I drop my kids to school, and I go by sometimes by purpose, on accident, to see what's happening. It's one of those special places that you really could never recreate. It really is, and you almost forget where you are when you walk in. You actually do forget where you are when you walk in. It's one of the most genuine places I've ever been, so I love it. I can't wait till they reopen. Any more questions? Before we eat, we have to eat.
They're saying, where can you get the pan?
Where can you get the pan? QVC.com. At Geoffrey Zakarian or QVC.
Are you making Mother's Day dinner?
Am I making Mother's Day dinner? Well, I can't tell you that because my wife, who is my daughter's mother, is standing right in front of me. But cheers.
What is your favorite comfort food?
Comfort food is something that I never understood. Comfort food. I always had a lot of everything in my life because my mom cooked everything. But I think that I do like stews and roasts. So a roast chicken with onions. Yeah, and really like kind of greasy onions and potatoes, stewy potatoes.
Somebody asked, when using a more hearty vegetable like broccoli, should I toss it in the pasta during the last couple of minutes of cooking?
It's a great question. If the broccoli is pre-cooked, yes. But you should still give it a little sear in the pan just to get some crispiness and some color on it. Any other questions?
They're asking, is that the 12-inch pan?
That is a...
Yes.
Yes. 12-inch pan.
And what kind of noodles again did you use?
This is fusilli with sausage, cheese, mint, basil, garlic, and zucchini. And don't forget, if you make this recipe within 1 week and tag it on IG Live and post it tagging Rayo at Rayo's Homemade and Sauce for Cause, you make it just like this. Rayo's is going to donate a meal to a family in need in Jersey via Jersey Cares. I love Jersey. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you weren't disappointed. I wish I could share this with you. But I know you can make this because you got great sauce, great pasta, and you just had a great lesson. Cheers.
Okay.